And our last story is about the world's most followed person on TikTok, Khaby.
Khaby, the silent comedian loved by millions on TikTok, was recently detained in the United States.
Everyone knows Khaby as the silent king of TikTok, the guy who takes the world's most ridiculous life hacks and shuts them down with nothing more than a blank stare and a signature hand gesture. But what happens when the man who built a career on keeping things simple gets caught in something way more complicated than any hack? We're talking passports, politics, and an international mess that even Khaby can't shrug away. This story is full of surprises, so make sure you watch till the end to find out how it all unfolded. The unexpected. Stop at Gate 6, the usual mix of jet fuel, business chatter, and visitors wearing Hawaiian shirts filled Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas on a sunny summer day, June 6th, 2025. However, something unexpected happened at Gate 6. It's not a bomb threat, not a breakdown of a celebrity. A fashionable hoodie, a passport, and a quiet man with a composed face were all kept for a few weeks too long. The world's most popular TikTok user, Khaby, was arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IC, for overstaying his visa. The man, who became a digital celebrity for his silent responses, found himself at the center of a court drama where he could not escape punishment. The irony had a cinematic quality. The world's most famous face of simplicity had just gotten tangled in the complex knot of American immigration law. The face that launched 1,000 memes. Khaby, an internet clown prince with the grace of Chaplin and the authority of a president, is a modern folklore figure who was born in Senegal, raised in Italy, and is adored all over the world. Using just his negative hand gestures and facial expressions, he grew his business from modest beginnings, working in a Turin factory, to commanding brand partnerships with Hugo Boss, Pepsi, and Meta. After years of residency, Khaby received Italian citizenship in August 2022. His voyage turned into a celebration of the young, multicultural, and digital identity that Europe is becoming. However, having worldwide influence does not entitle you to worldwide access. The misstep that went viral. Khaby's own real-life blunder turned into the kind of story twist that even TikTok couldn't have imagined, which is remarkable for someone who has made a career out of calling out dumb human mistakes in viral videos. June 6th, 2025 was the date. The location, Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, a glitzy entryway where celebrities, bachelor parties, and casino winnings frequently make quick getaways. However, Khaby's exit did not adhere to the superior protocol that one would anticipate from a world-renowned figure. After normal checks revealed an issue with his immigration status, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, authorities detained him rather than whisking him away through private security. The issue? A visa overstay, most likely using a B1/B2 visitor visa, which permits non-immigrants to remain in the country for up to 30 days for conferences, short-term business meetings, or tourism. Khaby arrived in the United States in late April 2025. According to a source close to his team, his stay was scheduled to last less than a month, which is typical for influencer tours that include appearances, brand deals, and podcast recordings. However, in the midst of panel discussions, photo shoots, and unplanned fan encounters, someone lost track of time, or worse, completely forgot about the legal deadlines. Things quickly changed when he arrived at the airport on June 6th with his entourage and travel paperwork in hand. According to reports, ICE officers discovered Khaby had exceeded his permitted stay in the United States while conducting standard exit inspections. A brief detention and investigation were prompted by that minor detail. Detainment in these situations does not match Hollywood-style lockups, according to sources familiar with ICE processes. There were fingerprints, a few stiff moments of embarrassing clarity, and formal questioning in a safe area. No sirens, no prison bars. However, the harm had already started to spread in real time, at least in terms of Khaby's reputation. From immigration booth to internet boom, the internet exploded in a matter of hours. The leaks started with unverified but heated screenshots from customs entries and aircraft logs. Next came the Twitter rumors, which quickly turned into popular hashtags like #FreeKhaby, #IceGoneTooFar, and Khaby lands in trouble. The most surprising development, however, was when far-right internet pundit Bo Loudon took responsibility for alerting immigration officials to Khaby's prolonged stay. These influencers believe they are above the law, Loudon stated in an uncensored broadcast. Not under my watch, anyway. An ordinarily administrative error was given a political undertone by the statement. Loudon was charged with xenophobia, racial profiling, and even planned harassment. Loudon's claims were likely exaggerated for clout, as ICE later clarified that the situation was part of routine exit processing, not a targeted raid. But by then, the headlines had already congealed into a juicy digital saga. TikTok star Khaby Lame detained by U.S. ICE for visa violation. Not a criminal, but not cleared. Either behind the social media frenzy, immigration law was quietly doing its thing. Once flagged, Khaby was given two choices: proceed with formal deportation, a legal process that could stretch for months, potentially barring him from the U.S. for years, accept voluntary departure, a clean break with no legal black mark, allowing him to apply for future visas without punitive restrictions. Even in a legal maze, Khaby, even the logical one, went with the second option. It was a sensible decision. He completed the required documents, cooperated completely, and by June 9th was already on a commercial airline returning to Milan. No paparazzi, no drama, just a man with a lesson learned and a passport. A mistake of management, not malice. Legal experts and public relations specialists quickly pointed out that Khaby Lame didn't willfully infringe the law. He told immigration the truth. He didn't run away or fabricate any paperwork. His travel and brand management teams appeared to have miscommunicated, failing to keep an eye on the rigorous deadlines associated with B-category visas, which resulted in the overstay. Visa management is both essential and sometimes overlooked in today's influencer economy, as media schedules fluctuate daily and gigs span countries. Navigating global immigration becomes a risky minefield, particularly for creators like Khaby, who don't fit the stereotype of typical artists, workers, or tourists. The bureaucracy beneath the fame. What happened next was standard ICE protocol. Khaby was presented with options: face formal removal proceedings, which can result in multi-year U.S. bans, or opt for a voluntary departure, which spares him blacklisting and allows for future visa applications. He chose the latter. Within 72 hours, Khaby boarded a commercial flight back to Milan. His departure was quiet, eerily aligned with his brand, but his fans? Not so silent. The internet reacts: #free Khaby, #ICE out. Hashtags like #free Khaby, #let Khaby stay, and #ICE out were popular worldwide in a matter of hours. Instagram was inundated with side-by-side memes of Khaby's stoic countenance in fictitious mugshots, shared by millions of Gen Zers. His fellow artists came together. It's insane how bureaucracy targets the chillest man alive, according to fashion influencer Bella Porch. ICE needs to chill, from streaming to detaining, tweeted Hassan Abi. However, not every response was encouraging. The action was applauded by far-right media, which used Khaby's case as an example of liberal border chaos. The man behind the mute. There is a smart, quiet young man behind the viral stillness. At the age of 1, Khaby, who was born in Dakar in 2000, relocated to Italy. He read comics, played soccer, had modest dreams, and lived in a public housing development outside of Turin. Everything was altered by the pandemic. He started posting TikToks after losing his industrial job in 2020. By just doing things correctly, he was able to expose the ridiculousness of complicated life hacks, which was his hilarious genius. He was the TikTok creator with the most followers by 2022. He was in the front row at Paris Fashion Week by 2023. By 2024, he was working with Elon Musk on a concept for X that had an AI theme. The fame machine, however, moves quickly, perhaps too quickly for Khaby's tour crew to follow. The U.S. immigration puzzle. Khaby's tale reveals a more profound conflict in international celebrity. The immigration system in America was designed for high-skilled workers, tourists, and students, not influencers. As of now, there isn't a particular visa category for digital artists. Even if the O1 Extraordinary Ability Visa can be applicable, the application process is difficult and time-consuming. The majority of influencers depend on short-term flights with a little commercial flexibility, such as B1, B2, or ESTA for Europeans. Even inadvertent overstaying can have detrimental effects. Automatic visa revocation, barred re-entry for 3 to 10 years. Loss of brand deals requiring U.S. appearances. Luckily, Khaby's voluntary departure shields him from long-term penalties, but his case is already being studied in visa law circles as a wake-up call. The psychological and brand impact. According to close friends and family, Khaby remained calm but shocked during the ordeal. A prompt and courteous conclusion was guaranteed by his legal team. However, the psychological impact of being held, even for a short time, at an airport leaves a scar, particularly if you're the most unthreatening person on the internet. Khaby kept asking, "Did I do something wrong?" One person revealed he assumed that his tardiness was simply a result of his schedule. He was unaware that it was a violation of the law. The effect is more subtle in a professional setting. While visas are being clarified, some firms might put a halt to their U.S. cooperation. Others would emphasize his story as evidence of its veracity. The redemption arc begins. Khaby broke his silence 3 days after arriving back in Milan, although it was through a TikTok rather than words. The film, a dramatic sketch about how not to overstay your visa. He closes it with a cheeky smirk and his trademark palm flip. In a single day, it received 85 million views. Redemption is finished. Khaby is seeking a US O1 visa, which allows artists and creators to remain in the country for a number of years, according to his management. According to immigration experts, he will probably be eligible. Fans are waiting for him to return to the United States in the interim, possibly for a docuseries called From Detained to Global, The Khaby Lame Story, on YouTube Originals. Final thoughts. A border too far. Khaby Lame is still grounded today, both practically and figuratively. While his U.S. team reworks travel documents, he is organizing projects in Brazil, India, and Italy. However, this incident will undoubtedly become a cornerstone of his legacy. It lends a human element to a cartoonishly cool creator, serves as a reminder that people who simplify the world are not exempt from its complexities. He continues to rule TikTok. He is now the prince of paperwork, though. Additionally, he stated in his initial caption following the incident, "Borders exist. However, they're all crossed by laughter."